This is Football, the People's Game, and today we are having a special guest on our show, Dickson, who is a bona fide Liverpool fan. So, Dickson, welcome to the show, Football, the People's Game.
Thanks, Horace, for having me on this show. I've been looking forward to it, and it's a pleasure being here.
All right, so let's hear from you. How are you feeling that you are on Football, the People's Game to analyze football? Is this your first experience analyzing football on the show?
Definitely. And for some reason, I feel like an expert already, like a pundit, but not to get it twisted. I'm just a passionate fan who is here to express my emotions towards Liverpool and football generally. So,
All right.
and it would be a pleasure to have other people hear that as well.
All right, we are glad to have you on our show. So first and foremost,
Thank you.
we'll be talking about Liverpool this season. Liverpool currently are top of the table, of which is obvious, one game away from becoming the crown champions this season. So going into the season, how did you feel? You know, losing Jurgen Klopp going into the season, and then a new manager coming in, Arne Slot, and then also during the season, there was this high possibility of Liverpool winning a treble or thereabout because they were doing very much good. I think in the Champions League, with the new Champions League format of the league phase, Liverpool topped the league, and then they were doing well in the Premier League. They were also in the Carling Cup and also the FA Cup. So there was that prospect of Liverpool winning at least 3 for this season. But at the end of the day, they lost all, and especially losing the EFL final to Newcastle and then being knocked out from the Champions League by PSG. So how did you feel going into the season? What was your expectations?
I would say it was more like a throwback to those days in the wilderness, as it's rightly termed. You know, back in the days when we had Hodgson and Rodgers' first season, and you know, you are just apathetic as a fan, a Liverpool fan, but at the same point, it's just like you having, you being in love with someone and you can't just let them go. So I was a bit skeptical about the fact that this would be a great season for us, first and foremost. And then secondly, I wasn't completely lost. The squad was good. And then on the other hand, there was an amount of copism involved in that. You know, we had our sporting director returning, our former sporting director, who in fact was responsible for some of the successes we had during Klopp's days. That is Michael Edwards. But in this capacity, he was returning as a director of football. So there was a bit of optimism involved because, you know, he's more of a data-driven guy. And based on the replacement that, you know, it was said then that would be sourced, they were looking for someone whose style of play and whose person is very, very similar to our dearly departed coach, Jurgen Klopp. So in a way, I was a bit optimistic, and then at the same time, I was scared heading into it. So yeah, that's it.
So it turns out that Liverpool would be escaping with the Premier League at the end of the day.
Oh my days, that is just a dream. To be honest, at the start of the season, I would say what would be successful for me would be just the top 4, given how competitive the league had become. You know, Nottingham Forest were buying players like it was well. Chelsea bought 8 goalkeepers, and Liverpool was there, just being Liverpool, acting like they don't care. Bill all aloof, and then City too were signing, United was signing, so everyone was making moves, and you know, there was this fear and trepidation involved. What is going on here? But yeah, and then at the end of the day, to see us now in this position, you know, it's a bit disappointing if you look at the fact that we exited the Champions League the way we did, because we had high hopes for it. We were almost invincible in a way. We hadn't lost the game since like September or so. And also, you know, exiting the FA Cup, although I just compensated saying that, you know, we had too many games, we had a lean squad, wanted to focus on the Champions League and other games that mattered. But, you know, it's hard to not dream about what could have been if our momentum continued the way it went. But all the same, this is still a dream for us to walk away with the Premier League. The Premier League has always eluded Liverpool. So, grabbing number 20, we have long end of this. So it's still
All
a
right.
joy for us. It's a joy regardless.
All right. So earlier on, you made mention about your feelings for losing Jurgen Klopp going into the season. But before we go into that, we would like to talk about Arnold announcing at the middle of the season that he will be joining Real
Oh my
Madrid
God!
next
Don't
season.
go there!
So,
Don't go there! Ah, la 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 la! Don't go to Arnold.
so how did you feel? How did you feel? Losing Arnold to Real Madrid, and then also with the announcement
I
coming
should,
at the middle of the season.
okay, okay. I should also highlight the fact that we haven't lost him yet. All these are just conjectures. They are speculations. Journalists, they need to earn their money, so they'll just bring up drama everywhere. But that's just the passionate Liverpool fan in me speaking. But when you look at it, it's hard not to feel like he has left already, because in the case of Arnold, you have someone who fans love to hate, and we Liverpool fans are always in love and defending him. So it's just a bit difficult. He's a generational talent. He's a lifelong Liverpool fan, and him delaying with the contract renewal, we're just getting scared. And also losing him to Real Madrid, potentially losing him to Real Madrid, is a bitter taste, because we have lost two finals to Real Madrid. It's like our jinx, or our I don't know what to call it. Like they're just there in Europe, just bringing us down. All those finals we lost, 3 Champions League titles could have been with a club.
Yes.
So I mean, and then losing him to them as well is a bitter taste in the mouth. Not to forget that we would also not get a transfer fee if he leaves for free. So I'm just hoping that at this point it's just a conjecture, and maybe they would announce that, hey, he has signed a 3-year extension or something of that nature. But it will be really, really sad to see him go, honestly. Even though that fans will say, or fans of other clubs rather, will say he can't defend this and that, we still love him the way he is, as flawed as he is. I will be sad to see him go.
All right, so that is by the way. Now back to Jurgen Klopp, losing Jurgen Klopp going into the new season. Jurgen Klopp came in at a time that Liverpool have really struggled for 30 years without winning the Premier League. And then Jurgen Klopp came in, did what he did, and then won the Premier League for Liverpool before leaving. And so with that success that he brought, also winning the Champions League as well, and then going into some other finals, with that success that Jurgen Klopp brought into that Liverpool side, when he announced that he will be leaving at the end of last season, how was your feeling, losing that kind of prospect?
To be honest, it was like losing a member of my family to death. And I know, because I've experienced that. Yeah, it's just how much, he has become a part of Liverpool Football Club. He's become etched into the club. Like the ethos of the club just exudes through him. Yeah. So losing a huge part, it just feels like he is irreplaceable, even till now, because he is more like a father figure in the club, not just a coach, but a father figure to the players as well. When you hear of the things he's done for them, and then also how he approached his transfer, he's almost that X factor in Liverpool that fans would hate Liverpool, but they will still adore Jurgen Klopp. He's just universally loved. So to replace such a character, he's once in a lifetime. It's just impossible. So when I heard the news last season, in fact, there was a United fan, my colleague, that broke the news. He said, hey, Klopp is leaving. I said, in your dreams, that's what you want to happen, because he wants us to return back to the dark ages. But yes, thankfully, that has not happened this season. And I'm glad that we bounced back, because he had promised me that, hey, the next 30 years, you will not touch any trophy. Not even Premier League. He said any trophy. That's the amount of hatred and acrimony that rival fans have for us. But I'm really glad that he laid the foundation. That's also someone that is instrumental in the success we are currently enjoying this season, because at the back end of the previous season, that was when we finished 5th, I think. Yeah, where we were struggling. They said the midfield legs were tired. We had a council of elders who couldn't keep up with the younglings anymore. he masterminded the rebuild. We brought in fresh legs, McAllister, Soboslai, Gravenberch, all these guys, when he knew he wasn't going to stay. So he was basically just building the team for his successor. So that is a really, really admirable thing. And it was instrumental to what we are seeing right now, if not the main idea behind it. But we still have to give credit to the current coach, Slot, for what he's done as well. So yes.
All right. So Liverpool, after last weekend, after their late winner from Arnold securing the 3 points for Liverpool last weekend, Liverpool are just one win away from being crowned the champions of Premier League this season, and it will be making it the 20th Premier League trophy for Liverpool. And also it will making Liverpool to tie on the same record with Manchester United that are also having 20. So with the rivalry between Manchester United and Liverpool, how would that make you feel as well? We need the 20th as a Liverpool fan.
It takes away the bragging rights for United, sir. That's how it makes me feel. It's like just taking away that single solitary reason for United fans to brag, they're still seeing 20 times, and all these things like that. So now that all is over. It's a nightmare. I know whatever is a nightmare for United, whatever is a nightmare for Everton, is just glory days for Liverpool. So it's really, really monumental for us, especially that number 20 coming in. And hopefully we can add 21 next season, and then I'm sure many United fans will stop watching football.
All right, okay, so we'll be talking about one of your club legends, which is Steven Gerrard, your captain at the time. Gerrard, playing for Liverpool, never won the domestic league with Liverpool, and it has it has been really hard on him as a person, although he might not have said it anyway. But also that is one thing that rival clubs use in taunting Liverpool in matches.
Yeah.
So since Steven Gerrard left Liverpool have been able to win one, and then this season, if they end up winning it, of which obviously they are going to win it, it will be making it 2 since he left. So would you be trading the 2005 UEFA Champions League Cup for any of these Premier Leagues for Steven Gerrard?
I mean, that's a really hard one. The hard one in that trophy spoke to the character of the team of Gerrard. It attested to his pedigree as a player, because if I remember correctly, he ended up in I think top 3 of best players that season globally. So wow, that's a tough one to trade one of the EPL titles. I'm sure definitely he would have traded one for it, but I, as a fan, I mean, if he's happy, I'm happy. I can't really say for sure. I mean, that's a difficult one to call. Would I trade one of the EPL titles for? Yeah, definitely. He deserves it. Definitely, in a heartbeat. Because the stuff he's done for the club, he led by example. He's the kind of player that, the team doesn't have to play well to win. I remember the 2006 FA Cup final against West Ham then. He won it for us, basically. So he's that kind of guy who has laid his own career on the line for the club. So if I had that power to exchange one of the 2 Premier League titles potentially we'll be having for one of for that Champions League famous 2005 one, yes, I definitely would for Gerrard.
All right, so Steven Gerrard is being compared to the likes of midfielders like Paul Scholes, Lampard, and there's this debate about who is the best among them. Obviously, these are 3 great midfielders, but the only thing holding Steven Gerrard back is that he never won the Premier League. So when rival clubs uses this as a way of taunting Liverpool, how does that make you feel? Because I know you must have experienced it, either one of the opposing fans using that to taunt you as a Liverpool.
Absolutely, I have numerous times. And one of those things that come up every time, that he never won the EPL and stuff like that. And for me, yeah, it's sad, but it doesn't take away from his individual brilliance.
Yeah.
And one of those things I would usually ask them is, if we take prime Steven Gerrard, in fact, his prime lasted a really long time.
Yes.
His prime was from 2003, 4 to 2012. That's a long time for his prime. This is a guy that, you would have him in your team. He would single-handedly win you games. In fact, there was one of his famous goals against Olympiacos. I think it was in 2004 or 2005. That same season that we won the
Champions League.
UCL. Yes, his third goal, the third goal for Liverpool then was one of his goals from outside the box. He scored that in the 4-0 win against Madrid. Just off the top of my head, his individual brilliances. So he's a guy that you would absolutely hate to play against, and he's someone that you take to be in your team in a heartbeat. So I just feel like it's just moving the goalpost or shifting the goalpost to say, yeah, he didn't win one EPL. So what if he won one EPL title? You say he didn't win 3, he didn't win 13. Exactly. So it's just how I look at it. Yes, it's sad he didn't win it, but not every player gets to win titles. Ibrahimovic, if I'm not mistaken, never won the UEFA Champions League title as well. So that's something else.
All right. So quickly before we go, you have been a Liverpool fan for a very long time, and also you must have experienced lots and lots of players that have come and gone and played for Liverpool. So among all these players that you must have experienced playing for Liverpool as a fan, both past and present, who will be making your top 5-a-side team?
Yes, 5-a-side team. Wow. Oh my God. You have the toughest question. So yes, definitely for goalkeeper, undisputedly would be Alisson Becker. Definitely.
Wow.
Centre back, yes, to an extent, prime Van Dijk would definitely be there. I mean, he almost won the Ballon d'Or, but for 36 votes,
Okay.
he would definitely be there. Then for midfield, of course, now Stevie G, one
Wow.
and only. So that leaves me with 2 more players to add for the forward line.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And I have 3 strikers in my head.
This is a tough one for you.
I have Suarez in my head. I have El Nino Torres, my favorite Liverpool striker. So I need 2 to add, and I still have Salah to add there. So who is going to stay out? Okay, I'll go with Torres over Suarez, simply because of how Suarez celebrated his goal against us when he played for Barcelona. That's just the simple reason I'm using it.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yes, it's what I had done. Of course, 2013, 2014, Suarez was phenomenal. He outplayed everyone. So it's really, really difficult for me to just, I need to use a petty reason to eliminate him from my 5-a-side. And that's the only reason I can come up with. And then the 5th spot will go to Salah. Simply because that guy is evergreen. He's always smashing records like it's no man's business. If he were English, he would definitely have more press and publicity on his head than he does right now. He's having one of the best individual seasons in a long, long time. I mean, prior to Messi or Ronaldo, this is unheard of. He's already reaching 60 goals and assists. So that's a really, really phenomenal season. So he wins it for me. Yeah.
All right. So that is a very top 5-a-side for you.
Yeah.
All right. So it has been very much lovely having you on our show, Football the People's Game. So before we go, how has the experience been for you? Being here analyzing football, and especially talking about your favorite club.
Wow, it's been exciting, I should say. From the start, I was really excited to be here, especially to have that football talk with you, like we always did back in the days on the platform where others can also hear me. So it's really exciting, Yeah.
All right. So when Liverpool are eventually crowned the Premier League champions for the 20th time. We'll be glad to also host you again to share your joy with other Liverpool fans out there.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to that.
All right. So thank you very much, DC, for being part of the show, Football the People's Game.
Thanks for having me.
So viewers out there, if you're a first-time viewer, please, this is Football the People's Game. Do well to subscribe to follow more of our footballing analysis. So DC, thank you very much. We'll be glad to have you next time.
My pleasure. Bye.
All right.